The dream of Don Bosco that I'm going to tell you today gave the Oratory boys the jitters when they first heard about it and kept them on a high alert for the next 22 months. What could the priest have said to keep the boys' attention for nearly 2 years? Stay tuned to find out. The Miracles and Prophecies of St. John Bosco, a project of America Needs Fatima. I'm your host, Adrian Fonseca. Subscribe for new episodes every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday. Today we're going to dive into one of Don Bosco's most chilling and unforgettable prophecies, an eerie dream that foretold the death of one of his beloved students. This story reveals not only Don Bosco's extraordinary gift of prophecy, but also his deep fatherly concern for the spiritual well-being of those under his care. As we reflect on this prophecy, we are reminded of the sobering reality of death and the importance of always being spiritually prepared. We'll explore the supernatural nature of Don Bosco's dreams and the profound impact spiritual guidance can have on young souls, especially in moments of life and death. In the story, we also witness the power of community, how it can provide comfort and support in times of grief. So how can we, like Don Bosco, help others prepare for their eternal destiny? If this story inspires you, share this video to spread the life-changing wisdom of St. John Bosco. One day in March 1854, after Vespers, Don Bosco gathered all the boarders in a room behind the sacristy and told them he wanted to tell them about his dream. He told them the following: "I was with you in the playground, delighted to see all of you so lively and happy, jumping, shouting, and running about. Suddenly, however, one of you came out of the building wearing some sort of top hat and began strolling around in the playground. The transparent headgear was lit from the inside and revealed the picture of a moon with the number 22 in its center. Suddenly, all of you stopped playing and lined up on the porch. Nearly a dozen of you looked deathly pale. I passed in front of those pale ones, and I saw that boy with the top hat among them. He was paler than the rest, and a black drape like those used at funerals hung from his shoulders. I was about to ask him what his strange garb meant, when a grave and dignified-looking stranger said, 'Wait, know that this boy has only 22 moons to live. Before these are over, he will die. Take care of him. Prepare him.' Then the stranger vanished. My dear boys, that lad is right here among you." As you can imagine, the boys were immediately gripped with fear. They had never before heard the priest predict the death of anyone, much less someone right there in their room. Seeing their reaction, Don Bosco said, "Don't be afraid. True, I know that boy and he is here now, but this is a dream, and you know that dreams are only dreams. One thing is certain, though. We must always be prepared for death. If we follow this rule, death will not frighten us. Therefore, put your conscience in order and resolve not to offend God anymore." Ultimately, the solemn dream did good for the boys. They focused on keeping themselves in God's grace and counted down the months. Now and then, when Don Bosco would ask, "How many more moons?" they would reply, 20, 18, 15, and so on. October 1855 arrived, the day of the 20th moon. At this time, the cleric John Cagliero was in charge of the dormitory for several boys, including Secundus Gurgo, a handsome, healthy 17-year-old. The youth, an excellent pianist and organist, studied music assiduously and gave lessons in town. One evening, Don Bosco took Cagliero aside, saying, "It would be better if you moved your bed into the middle room." A few days later, Don Bosco summoned him again. "How many sleep in your room?" "There are 3 of us, Gurgo, Garovaglia, and myself. 4 if you include the piano." "Good," Don Bosco said. "You are all musicians, and Gurgo can teach you to play the piano. Make sure that you look after him well." Cagliero's curiosity was aroused. Suspecting something, he questioned Don Bosco, who replied, "You'll know in due time." The secret, of course, was that Gurgo was the boy of the 22 moons. About the middle of December, Gurgo had a sudden attack of abdominal pains, so violent that the doctor recommended that the boy receive the last sacraments. The pains continued for 8 days, but they subsided thanks to Dr. De Bernardi's care, and Gurgo could get up again. The Christmas novena began, and Gurgo, now almost wholly recovered, was planning to go home for Christmas. His father arrived on Sunday, December 23rd, and finding his son doing well, booked 2 seats on the next stagecoach. That evening, Gurgo ate meat, although the doctor had forbidden it. Sometime during the night, Gurgo suffered another very severe abdominal attack. "Cagliero, Cagliero," he gasped. "I'm through giving you piano lessons." "Come now, don't say that," Cagliero protested. "I'll never see home again. Pray for me. Oh, what pains! Pray to Our Lady for me." "Of course, I'll pray, and you do likewise." Cagliero began praying, but overcome by fatigue, he soon fell asleep. He was suddenly awakened by the infirmarian, who, pointing to Gurgo, ran out to call Father Alessonati. But within minutes, Gurgo was dead. The whole oratory was stunned. After lunch, the boys and the clerics silently gathered around Don Bosco. Someone asked him point blank whether Gurgo had been the boy of the 22 moons. "Yes," Don Bosco replied sadly. "It was he. He was the one I saw in my dream." On Christmas Eve, at the good night, Don Bosco was looking about as though searching for someone. After a while, he said, "Gurgo is the first boy to die here at the oratory. He was well prepared, and we hope he is now in heaven." He could say no more. So great was his grief at the loss of one of his boys. Don Bosco's prophetic dream and his care for young Gurgo reminds us of the importance of spiritual preparedness and the impact that we can have on others' lives. Just as Don Bosco shared his dream to help the boys at the oratory, we too can share his wisdom with those around us. Don Bosco's story today reminds us of our duty to help others prepare for eternity. Just as he shared his dream with the oratory boys, we are called to share these life-changing messages with those around us. Think for a moment. Do you know someone who's drifted from their faith? Someone struggling with life's purpose? By sharing this video, you could be the instrument that God uses to bring them back to Him. Don't let fear or hesitation hold you back. Remember, souls are at stake. Click the share button now and send this video to someone who needs to hear Don Bosco's wisdom. And while you're at it, subscribe to our channel and hit the notification bell so that way you never miss out on another episode. Your likes and comments help spread Don Bosco's message even further. And let's not forget, every share, every like, every comment is an act of evangelization. It's a modern way of following Christ's command to spread the gospel. So, will you join us in this mission? The choice is yours, but remember, St. John Bosco never hesitated to reach out to a soul in need. Let's follow his example. Today's topic was rather sobering. It confirms the maxim that tomorrow is promised to no one, and it's also definitive proof that Don Bosco's dreams were supernatural in nature. More like visions than dreams, really. And after reading this dream for the first time, I was struck by how our culture treats death. According to the National Library of Medicine, by the time children reach 18, Americans will have seen 16,000 simulated murders. Yet many of these same children are no longer allowed to go to their grandparents' funerals for fear that it will scare them. But what do you think about this? Be sure to let us know in the comment section down below. I would be very interested in what you have to think, and your insights could help others who grapple with this important topic. Thank you for joining us today and exploring this powerful prophecy of St. John Bosco. Remember, each day is a gift, an opportunity to grow closer to God and to help others to do the same. St. John Bosco, pray for us. May God bless you, and Mary Immaculate keep you under her mantle. God love you.